question to you. In the next panel, some of the witnesses, like Mr. Bond, raised the issue of how it's going to be more expensive for a small entity to cover rural areas because they are more spread out. They don't have the resources and the infrastructure. So some rural communication companies have raised concerns about the population-based build-out requirements that the FCC assigned to the larger licenses. These companies contend that population-based benchmarks will not encourage licensees to provide service to rural areas. How do you respond to that?
Well, that's the very reason why we have actually a mix of our requirements. Some of the licenses are required to be built out on a population basis, and some are required to be built out on a geographic basis to make sure that that all of the different areas are covered. And so some of the small carriers wanted to make sure that we had a geographic basis to make sure that all the rural communities were covered. Some small carriers were concerned that that would actually become too difficult for them to end up doing, and wanted a population everywhere. And so the Commission again tried to find a mix where we've said some of the licenses they can be built out on a geographic area basis, and some need to be built out on a population basis to try to provide opportunities both ways to different carriers who wanted to compete in different manner.
In 2006, the FCC conducted the Advanced Wireless Services Auction. 57 of the 104 winning bids were submitted by small businesses. According to one of the witnesses that will be testifying today, due to government users' needs, small entities may have to wait as long as 5 years before they begin to benefit from the spectrum. Mr. Chairman, for a small business, small entity, 5 years is a long time. So what steps are you taking or you will be taking to accelerate the relocation process so that these firms are not impacted by extended delays?
The spectrum that we were auctioning off in that AWS-1 auction was actually spectrum that we were taking back from government users. NTIA, which is a division of the Department of Commerce, is responsible for moving government users off of those pieces. They've got a schedule for when the government users are supposed to be off, but the Commission regulates commercial private users, not the government users themselves. So to the extent that there's concerns about the government users moving off, the Commission has very little that it can end up doing. That NTIA is the one responsible for making sure that government users exit according to the schedule that has been laid out. But the auction was conducted with a schedule of when people were going to be leaving, and I assume that everything is on track with that. I haven't heard in particular anything that's not. I think though the fact that that spectrum was going to be unavailable for such a long period of time because there were current government users who were going to be leaving over a certain period of time only highlights why this spectrum should be worth significantly more. Because this spectrum is going to be available at a date certain, we know, on the DTV transition in 2009. And that's the very reason why I think us using that spectrum as an example of how much we should be able to raise, and using that as a benchmark is why that's a reasonable benchmark for us to be using, because this spectrum should be worth more because it's available even quicker.
Thank you very much. Mr. Shaba, do you have any? Well, with that, the gentleman is excused, and I thank you for your time and your cooperation and your insight into this issue.
Thank you very much.
And we expect for some of the questions that you were not able to provide, some of the answers to be sent to this committee. Thank you.